3 unidentified aerial objects that were flying over the airspace of North America over the weekend. Biden stated that nothing currently suggests that the objects were related to China's surveillance program or that they were surveillance vehicles from other countries. This is despite the fact that the United States military is still working to recover the objects and that officials from the United States intelligence community are still assessing them. But make no mistake, if any item presents a threat to the safety and security of the American people, I will tear it down, Vice President Joe Biden stated. Make no mistake about that. Biden continued by saying, in reference to the Chinese surveillance balloon, I make no apologies for taking down that balloon. Since the Chinese spy balloon was observed above Montana more than 2 weeks ago, the president made his first comprehensive comments on the matter during his press conference on Thursday. These remarks came more than 2 weeks after the event. He was met with increasing demands for increased openness and communication with the public from parliamentarians on both parties. While he was wrapping up his speech, reporters began to hurl questions at Biden, and he declined to answer any of them. One of the queries that was shouted at him asked whether the shootdowns of the 3 objects were an overreaction on his side brought on by political pressure. Despite the fact that the reporter for NBC News stated that Biden called back later to answer, claiming that he did not give the instructions to remove the artifacts in response to political pressure, the things were nonetheless removed. The already tense relationship between the United States and China was further strained by the passage of a Chinese spy balloon across the continental United States between January 28 and February 4. Republicans criticized Biden for not taking action sooner to shoot down the balloon, despite the fact that he claimed he had ordered it to be shot down as quickly as possible. Nevertheless, his military aides felt it was too risky to do so over land. We waited until it was safely over sea, which would not only protect civilians but also enable us to retrieve major components for further analysis, he said. This would not only protect civilians but it would also enable us to recover substantial components. And then we shot it down, delivering a strong message, sending a clear message that it is unacceptable to violate our sovereignty. We are going to take action to defend our nation, and we have. Biden stated that the United States has been talking with China over the course of the previous 2 weeks and that he anticipates having a conversation with President Xi Jinping to get to the bottom of this. From the beginning of my administration, our goal with China has been to engage in competition rather than conflict. We are not interested in starting a new Cold War, Biden remarked. But, I will not apologize, and we will continue to compete. Following the destruction of the surveillance balloon, the United States military destroyed 3 further unidentified flying objects over the course of 3 consecutive days. One of these was located over Alaska, another over Canada, and the final one was found over Lake Huron in Michigan. According to Biden, actions were taken by the United States and Canada in conjunction, and he said that he had a personal conversation with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau over the weekend. The 2 armies are currently cooperating with one another in order to retrieve debris. But, White House spokesperson John Kirby stated earlier this week that a leading explanation within the intelligence community is that the devices may have been for commercial or benign use. The administration has not yet confirmed what those objects were or where they originated from. On Thursday, Vice President Joe Biden repeated that opinion, adding that while they still don't know for sure, the items were most likely balloons related to private organizations, recreational research institutes for the purpose of doing meteorological study or scientific investigation. I want to make it plain that we do not have any proof that there has been a dramatic spike in the amount of objects in the sky, Vice President Joe Biden stated. I want to be clear. We're now just seeing more of them, in part because of the actions we've done to expand the number of radars, the spokesperson said. A review that involves multiple government agencies is currently underway to investigate the wider policy implications of locating and examining unidentified flying objects that may constitute a threat to either safety or security. Regarding the interagency review, White House Press Secretary Jean-Pierre stated on Thursday that they are continuing to work intensively to put forward parameters. That work is continuing, but you will hear from the president and he will give an update on what has occurred over the last several days. She had stated in the past that it was anticipated that their work would be finished by the end of the week. Biden stated on Thursday that the new guidelines will serve as a guide for the measures that the government takes going forward. These efforts will include enhanced tracking of unmanned airborne devices as well as modifications to the rules and regulations governing the launch of unmanned objects. These actions will lead to safer and more secure skies for our air travelers, our military, our scientists, and even individuals on the ground, he added. These steps will lead to safer and more secure skies for our air travelers. As your President and Commander-in-Chief, that is one of my responsibilities. That's today's latest news. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment so that this channel can continue to exist. Thank you for listening to the end and I hope it's useful.